bay, la segura. Amule yele ya le meri wakeira. Segura. Ogune.
Hello, this is Trina McGee, and you know what? We're going to talk about natural hair, your natural, the hair that naturally was given to you. You know, recollection of natural hair has to be when I was about 7 years old. And there was a big fear in the house because my grandmother, who had to hot comb my mother through the early 50s and early 60s, because it wasn't a question of when you were going to straighten your hair, or if you were going to straighten your hair. It was a question of when you were going to straighten your hair. So it was a big fear. If you straightened it, you could burn off some of your hair. My grandmother actually did to my mother. Let's see that first clip of some hot combing. So y'all know what I'm talking about. If you don't know what hot combing is, if you're, I don't know, far into what this is what it looks like. You stand over your stove every morning and you put that to your head, and she's doing it over a week. And yeah, that's what my grandmother did, and she was fearful that she would burn my hair. So eventually we gave in to straightening my hair. My grandmother had to go to a job every day where she eventually gave up the straightening it. She just got to a wig, and she had a row of wigs, I remember, that I used to look at every night. She went through an opera phase thing for a while, which was crazy. But she had to wear these wigs in order to work. She couldn't just wear her own natural hair to work and expect to excel at her job as a military secretary. She couldn't have gotten as far as she did. So, that leads me to kind of let you guys know that there's such a severity to our hair. It's been such a part of our survival. The way the young girls are doing their hair these days, we couldn't have gotten away with it. There's a famous story about a woman named Melba Tolliver. Do we have a clip of Melba Tolliver up there? Can we put up there? Melba was she was a journalist for ABC News, and she was asked to cover Richard Nixon's daughter's wedding, Julie's wedding, and she was subsequently fired because she refused to cover the wedding in the style of hair that they asked her to wear. They asked her not to wear her natural afro while reporting on Richard Nixon's daughter's wedding, and she didn't wear her afro. I mean, she wore her afro and then was fired. So, when people make fun or think it's late that, certain women have brought up issues about the Crown Act or things like that are necessary. These have been some direct hits to our survival. But that was in 1971. Here we are now in 2023, and women are doing their natural hair. Okay, and I'm loving it. I'm loving the journey. Everybody's calling it the natural hair journey. So I'm going to bring in somebody who knows about natural, knows about hair, and most of the parts about our body and how to make it function just marvelously. Arzu Mountain Spirit. Arzu Mountain Spirit, are you there? There she is. Hello, love. Can we hear you?
Oh my God, here I am. Hi.
There you are. Hello, beautiful.
How are you, my dearest Trina?
I,
Good
I'm
to
do-
see
I'm
you.
doing good. I'm sharing some hair war stories. Your hair is beautiful, by the way. But
Listen, we've all had our little journey, right? With getting to
yes,
where you are with our hair. Yeah.
yes. So tell us about yourself. First of all, what is your title in the world?
Ah, that's a good one. In the world, well, I am wow. I'm a metaphysical herbalist first and foremost. But I sit myself as a health autonomy expert, um, chief ancestral health autonomy expert, and it's very simple. It just means that I'm really rooting for everyone to have the right to heal themselves, to seek out whatever remedies they need for whatever is ailing them.
Ah, that's
Yeah.
great. Well, today we're going to seek out remedies for our hair. And what do you think? I'm going to just get right into it, okay? First of all, for our hair, we need moisturization, okay? What would you recommend are some of the best oils to moisturize our hair?
Well, we're very fortunate. We have several. And I guess it all depends on how dry your hair is or how much oil your hair keeps. But
Yes.
the main herbs we have are that are available, accessible to everyone. Of course, the rosemary.
Mm-hmm.
We also have the horsetail.
Okay. You're a lot
Yeah,
of
and it's called horsetail for a reason. And the curry leaves,
curry
which
leaf.
are excellent for hair. This is what
Mhm.
Indian women use, and they've got it down to a science, and it's something we really need to look into. We also have the hibiscus flowers, cactus
Ah.
juice, all of these plants, and there are more. Mango leaf tea
Mhm.
to help keep the moisture in our hair.
Okay, I'm going to show you some clips. Oh, here we go.
Okay.
Beat me to it. Okay. So so what do you think about the coconut oil craze? Everybody's using coconut oil. I mean, do you think that they're saying it's good for circulation? What would you mix with the coconut oil? You
Well,
know,
the
because
coconut oil, first of all, it's ancestral African. This is something we came with. It's great for the skin. It's great for everything that is in our body. It's very nutritious. The problem is that a lot of coconut oils are processed in such a way where they are deprived of their natural nutrients. So it really all depends on how that coconut oil is processed. Now, here in my village, in my community, we make our own coconut oil. So if you get coconut oil that's as close as it is to the way God made it, then yes, it's good for your hair. And a lot of people have had bad experiences with coconut oil. But again, look at the way it's processed. The best for me is the cold pressed, maybe with a little bit of heat, but the least messed with as possible.
okay, that's important to know because sometimes you just want to grab that coconut oil off that shelf and you don't really you want to buy the cheaper one, but you really should go for the good kind.
Yeah, that on sale one. But you know what? I've seen a lot of DIYs on how to make your own coconut oil. So if you're fortunate enough to get a hold of a coconut, yeah.
Oh, wow. Wow. So let me see that a lot of girls are going into a lot of crazes and remedies. You know, there's a clip I want to show you of
Okay.
the Cardi B clip.
What's she doing?
Cardi B said something about how she was using onion water on her hair, and it was actually helping her hair to grow because of the sulfur they're seeing on the onion, and having that sulfur sit on your hair is supposedly helping your scalp grow back hair. What do you think about that? Do you think there's any validity to that at all? Or
Well, the sulfur part is very valid because I don't know if you remember when we were doing the hot comb, like you talked about what we were using, sulfur 8, right? Then it was real sulfur in there. But a lot of plants have sulfur. Rosemary, horsetail has sulfur, curry, all the other plants that we use for the hair contain massive amounts of nutrients, vitamins, and sulfur. So it's
Yeah.
not just the onions. So it does make sense
Well,
to use the sulfur.
that's what the girls are doing. They're mixing all sorts of things that have sulfur in them. All the legends of the herbs they're mixing together and coming up with all sorts of potions and packs to put, on your hair.
If they only knew how easy it was to get horsetail, you can order online. It's just a tea, right? Rosemary that you can buy as a spice. You can get the cheap one because rosemary does not give up its nutrients.
Yes.
It doesn't lose it in heavy processing. So you can just get the bulk herb, you can grow it. These are things that are very inexpensive, very easy to get, and all you have to do is either boil them in water or make an infused oil and use them. You don't have to go the whole 9 yards and go around smelling like an onion.
So you go get a spray. That's one thing. I tried the onion thing, and my husband was like, "Look, I do not like that smell. Do not come to bed with no onion." And I know there was
smelling like vegetable soup, yeah.
But so just get a spray bottle, fill it with water, put some rosemary in it, let it sit for a while, and spritz it with that. If you want to add a little coconut oil to it. What other kind of oils do you recommend that you think are good for moisturizing?
Listen, that's another one that's so easy. You have on the market avocado oil. You have olive oil. And the one that I use in my oil is castor oil. So easy to get. There's also a sweet almond oil. You can get little bottles of almond oil, and those you can get on sale because nobody's really, they're not fads. So all of those oils are good. You don't have to stick with these really expensive oils or even the desiccated, coconut oil. You can try all of these oils. They'll do just fine.
Fabulous. Hey, can we see clip number 4? There's some things I want to show you that, everybody's thinking about when it comes to how we make our hair grow. The thing about our hair is it grows great. The thing about it is we have to be able to learn how to retain the ends to keep our hair growing long. So that's why people are coming up with all sorts of creams and moisturizers. And, this girl is actually, it looks like she's putting an avocado paste on her hair at night and everything. But one of the main things I think you need to really retain growth is to actually just do your hair every night. Tuck your hair away every night with some kind of moisturizer, and you pretty much should be okay with and growing hair. What do you think about that?
Well, in my house, we used to put what we call boo-boo plaits before going to bed.
Exactly.
You would comb your hair, and that's combing. That's another thing. That yanking and pulling, we grew up with so much disdain and hostility towards our hair. We have to really go back to being very gentle with our hair. Don't insist on using those fine-tooth combs. A boar bristle hairbrush is perfect for our hair. It's perfect. A nice wooden comb with wide teeth, again, excellent. But natural material through our hair functions better than plastic. The soft plastic is the worst. That's the worst you can put through your hair. The wood, hardened plastic, and what other materials? I remember having a bone comb that worked just fine. And just combing our hair at the end of the day and then putting some boo-boo plaits on there, 4 braids or 2 braids. And then in the morning, you just comb it out.
Exactly.
Yeah.
No need for this.
Another myth also, Trina, is this washing your hair every day thing. That's for white people, okay? Our hair shaft isn't out there picking up all kinds of dirt every single day, right? So we don't need to shampoo all the nutrients out of our hair every single day. That's not necessary. Yeah.
A lot of white people are not shampooing their hair every day.
Exactly. But that's what the market wants you to do.
Okay, so let me run down the herbs that we know are good so we can kind of round out what we know is going to make our hair grow. Hibiscus. Okay?
Yep.
Okay.
Hibiscus. I don't know about cloves. Cloves are good for infusing an oil, and they're good for stimulating the scalp. Okay. Well, but let me just get one thing straight, or a couple of things straight.
Okay.
Hair grows as a result of nutrition.
Yes.
And nutrition can only be brought to your hair through circulation.
Mhm.
So it has a lot to do with all the health and the nutrition that you put into your system.
So you're going on in what you're eating, what you're drinking.
Exactly.
It's not just I'm going to slap this on my hair. My hair is going to be great.
Right.
So, well, that's a good question. What do you think are some of the top 5 greatest foods to eat to grow your hair or to have healthy hair and a healthy body, of course? But
I'm gonna go back to okay. So since it's a protein, it needs protein. Your body needs protein to produce hair. So a lot of the nuts are good. Of course, fish are good. Anything that's high in protein, but also foods that your body can absorb. Because if you're eating the protein and you're not absorbing it, your body's not going to be able to make hair. Curry, I'm going to go back to curry because I just can't stop.
Okay.
The amazement of it. Curry leaves, the leaves, not the curry spice, but the leaves are very, very, very good for hair.
Curry leaves.
Yes.
Okay. What do you think is a remedy for edges? Everybody.
Oh, for the edges, stop stressing them. Stop stressing them. But I want to give you my number one plant for hair.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, we have the rosemary, we have the curry, we have the mango leaves, but it's a go-to cola. And that's what we use ancestrally in Africa. In fact, a lot of tribes still use it. They have
What's that called? A go-to cola?
Go-to cola, yes.
Okay.
Centella asiatica, it's called. Go-to cola. It's a tea. You can buy it anywhere, any herbal shop.
Wow.
Go-to cola, exactly.
Okay.
And what makes this particular plant special is that it doesn't just address the growth of your hair, it actually raises the vibrational frequency of your scalp so that your follicles are free and de-stressed and your hair grows quite easily. On top of the fact that it improves circulation to the scalp.
Go-to cola for free follicles. I love that.
Yeah. Well, it's an herb we use in metaphysical herbalism to improve memory. And in some countries now it's being used to treat Alzheimer's and dementia. So it's not just for the hair. It has all these other benefits that clearly God put in there to help heal everything of the scalp. So as a side effect, it grows your hair.
What do you think our hair is really here for? Like on our head, is like, what do you think the uses of our hair is, I'll say metaphysically, in the universe?
They're antennas to receive information from not just our environment, but information from other dimensions. They're interdimensional receivers.
Mm-hmm.
So we really have to be very careful with what we do to our hair and how we treat it. All the hairs from our head all over our bodies, they're all considered metaphysically transmitters, receivers of information, but also givers of information. They help us read our environment. So in a sense, they would go in the category of protection. So protection, yes, for cushioning, right, of your head. And in case you get hit or something or a bump, it protects you from external damaging things, external dangers. But it also protects you with information by enabling you to absorb and read information so that you can read your environment more accurately and make better decisions about how you roll in your environment.
Wow. So we probably have our spidey senses up when we have our hair out way
down.
Down.
Yeah. And when you have it natural.
Yeah.
When you have, imagine if these are antennas, if all your antennas are pointing down and limp and the shaft is closed, they're not reading accurately.
I can see that. You've dulled your antennas.
Yeah.
Wow.
And your ancestors, you can't communicate with the ancestors. You can't receive, but they say, Trina, don't go there, but you can't hear them.
Yeah.
Or Trina, look, there's $1 million right behind you. Look, go that way. You can't hear them.
I can't hear them because I strained my hair.
Your hair's doing something else. Your antennas are busy doing other things.
Oh no. putting the clay, Indian Aztec clay, the face clay, but I've been putting it in my hair because I had straightened my hair and I wanted to get my curl pattern back. So it's like the Indian clay draws out all of the stuff that is inhibiting that, I guess. And now I'm starting to get it back here. It's still a little straight. And I'm thinking, wow, why did I ever straighten my hair? Now you gave me such good reason.
Well, we all had to do that. We all had to straighten our hair, but it's okay, you know.
Yeah. You know, but that's the thing is we don't have to anymore, but people can't stop doing it. So now you got to ask what's going on. Is this a head thing? I'm not judging anybody what they want to do with their hair. It's all a personal journey.
You have options.
You know, we all have options, but some people, I know a lot of people, especially in the continent of Africa, feel that they need to straighten their hair. They're still doing perms. I mean, what do you think of that?
Well, interestingly enough, you know, Africa was spliced up and colonized by the big powers. And in the leftover British colonies in Africa, I mean, they call them free countries, but they still have that influence. And they left an educational system in many of the African countries where children's heads had to be shaved. You couldn't wear natural hair. So the parents had no other choice but to just cut their hair. And they just recently overturned that law where children can now wear hair. Because if you notice, a lot of the pictures from the schools in African schools,
especially the girls are, wow.
Yeah, so now they can grow their hair and they can wear locks and braids and stuff. But they left laws in place to prevent us from wearing our own hair.
Sounds like they didn't want the antennas to be out there.
Of course not. Of course not. That's the most threatening thing.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Wow. You know, there's so many things I can go over about our hair. And actually, I want to get in. We're going to go into a part 2 the next time that I see you, which is going to be in a very short time. Love you so much. Auntie Arzu Mountain Spirit on YouTube.
Thank you, my love. Thank you.
Catch me, Trina McGee. Trina McGee Official on TikTok. And Trina McGee on YouTube. And Trina McGee. And we're gonna get to some other plants. Papaya.
Yes.
And of course, so the skins of fruits you want to put directly in your hair that make great conditioners. We want to get into that. I also want to get into shrinkage next time I talk to you, which is a big thing the girls want to talk about, is the shrinkage of our hair. How to prevent it, or what to do if you want to pull it out, or maybe you like your shrinkage. I don't know, but and also there's a whole classification I'd like to talk to you about and see what you think about of our curls, called from 4C to 2A. You know, this is and not anything I grew up with, but that's what they're talking about. So next time on part 2 of our natural hair care talk, we will talk about that. How do you feel about that?
I can't wait. But one thing I want to say to everyone is everything begins with loving your hair. If you're talking about growing your hair, start by loving it.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, Auntie Arzu Mountain Spirit.
You're most welcome.
And McGee, we're going to sign off with so much love and joy. I love my hair. Say it. Love you,
I love my hair. Love it.